All right, so welcome to the first episode, I guess, of Football with the Great American Youth. It's a fantasy football podcast, kinda. My name is Anthony.
I'm Jacob. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, we are recent class of 2022 college graduates, both from the DMV, DC, Maryland area.
Big Commanders fans.
Yeah, I would say big time Commanders fans, and huge fantasy football fans too. We've been doing it for a while. We're just regular college graduate kids who like to take money from our friends.
And we want to help you make money. So stay tuned if you want to learn more.
We've been doing this for a while. We feel like we're pretty good at it, good enough at least to talk about it or try to. So with that, we're going to get into our league or give you a little bit of background as to how we got here.
So our league name is the Great American Youth. As you can see, we were founded in 2014. So this is our 9th season. I know it's pretty impressive. We started our freshman years of high school. So our champion last year, Anthony Ash, right here, himself, the man himself. Second place was Joel Herberman, who you'll eventually meet, hopefully. And then our league members, as you can see there, pretty much everyone's a founding member except for Adwin, Yusuke, and Alex. So our league's a pretty standard league. It's 10 teams, half-point PPR, head-to-head, ESPN, standard format league. So yeah, let's get into how the draft went. We actually started the draft with a special draft lottery that I did in one of my other leagues. It was an 100-yard rush, horse racing lottery type thing. Basically, we had 10 horses lined up on one end zone, and they had to race to the other. First one across the line got first pick, second pick, 10th pick. And as you can see, these are the results that we got. Anthony got first.
I feel like this has to be one of the most degenerate ways to select a draft order. But I, as a league winner, getting to, repeat as first pick, I have no complaints. I was totally.
You get JT back-to-back years. You can't.
I can't complain at all.
Yeah, so we did the draft lottery like this, and then we transitioned right into the draft.
So we won't be showing y'all the whole of everyone's teams. We'll be showing you how me and Jacob drafted. As he mentioned, obviously, Jonathan Taylor, he really carried my team to success last year. Him and Jamar Chase, who I benched in the final. That was when he had the best fantasy game in history. That was stupid, but I still won. Here's my team. Went Jonathan Taylor and Mike Evans with my first 2 picks. Nick Chubb, Kyle Pitts. I love drafting tight ends early. That's just I always do it. Drafted Kyle Pitts. I feel like he's going to be good. David Montgomery, Michael Thomas was an iffy one, but had a phenomenal week 1, which we'll get into. Hunter Renfrow, Gibson as well. I had him last. I don't know. I feel like I had him last year. I don't know. I've had Gibson before. I love him. He's great. Christian Kirk, he was my favorite pick of this draft. I feel like he's going to have a really good season with Jacksonville. He's going to be their number 1 receiver. I don't think you pay someone that much money to not at least target them a lot. And for a half PPR league, I think, on receptions alone, I think he's going to be able to be a consistent wide receiver 2 flex for me. But
100%.
There's the rest of my team. Jahan Dotson, big one as well. Kirk Cousins,
the DMV.
Starting QB. I like that. I do like that very much.
You like that, Anthony?
Had to get my handicap in. Himes for Jonathan Taylor. Jameson Williams was kind of just a throwaway. He's in my IR slot. I don't know if he'll come back this season or not. And then, or when this season he'll come back and the impact he'll have. And then, defense kicker because it made me and I didn't really want to. But
thanks, ESPN.
So
my draft, it didn't go as well as I would have liked, but here it is. Had the 8th overall pick, and Najee fell to me. I felt like I kind of needed to go running back first, and it's kind of the best value there, in my opinion, at the time. And on the turn, I somehow got Deebo Samuel because Matt Cohen chose Mark Andrews as the first tight end off the board. But I'm not complaining. I got Deebo. I love him, doing great. As you can see, my 3rd pick, not as great, but I kept stacking up on receiver. I felt that was one of the strong suits of my draft. I feel like I have a lot of depth there. I think one of the steals of my draft, my favorite pick is probably DeAndre Hopkins, stealing him in the 8th round. Remember, a lot of people were upset right when I took him off the board. But I really think once he gets back in week 7, like he's gonna be the guy. The Cardinals started like 10-0, 11-0, something like that last year. He was a big part of the reason why. I think once he gets back along with Marquise Brown, they're gonna have a solid offense, and it's gonna help my fantasy team a ton.
It'll open it up for them.
Yeah, and I think my strength is obviously receiver, as I said, and then weakness on the other hand would definitely be running back and tight end. As you can see, Cam Akers isn't the strongest. Damian Pierce, Tony Pollard, I'm gonna have to work with that though, but maybe I'll make some trades. Yeah, tight end pretty weak too. I got Zach Ertz, and that's about it right now. So yeah, as you know, week 1 already happened. Obviously, we didn't make a podcast for week 1, but we're here. So Anthony, what are your thoughts from week 1? How'd your team do? Who'd you play?
You know, played against new league member Adwin, and I had to baptize him and let him know how the Great American Youth does. Gave him a nice 20-point victory on the back of Jonathan Taylor. Phenomenal game. Antonio Gibson. I'm upset that Brian Robinson got shot. I really am. But Antonio Gibson is now RB1 for at least the first 4 weeks of the season. Did phenomenal. Excited for him for the next 3. Kyle Pitts was a little disappointing, but that's okay. The rest of the team picked up the slack and did well. Michael Thomas, phenomenal.
On the bench.
2 touchdowns. I didn't know. I picked him. I just didn't know. He didn't play at all last year. I wasn't sure what he was going to do, but he did
Definitely
really
question
well.
mark coming into week 1.
Yeah, I know. Dotson did really well too. I think my bench performed. I think seeing what I did out of Dotson and Thomas gave me a bit more confidence in my receiver depth. Still don't know. David Montgomery is a little bit of a weird one. I don't know. The Bears are just like a bad football team. I don't know how they won, but yeah, everything else is good. And Trey Lance I'm glad I put Trey Lance on the bench where he belongs. He's a rookie. He's a newbie. He needs reps. Captain Kirk is the best QB. He's my QB1, and he's going to be until Trey Lance shows me otherwise.
He outperformed Aaron Rodgers, the 2-time MVP, back-to-back MVP. Sorry.
What are we talking about? This is easy. This is easy for me. So, I guess we'll let you. I feel pretty good about my week 1. I'll let you get into yours and how you felt like that.
I wish my week 1 as well as yours. I had the low score of the week, 81.3 points. As you can see, I started Cam Akers. That did not go well. Robert Tonyan, I picked up off the waivers because Zach Ertz was questionable coming in the game. Didn't do much there. Damian Pierce, come on, Rex Burkhead. Damian Pierce was the number 1 guy, and
Burkhead is RB1.
What out of nowhere? So thanks, Coach Lovie Smith. Yeah, we got Najee who got hurt. Russell Wilson couldn't do anything in Seattle. Doesn't know how to manage the clock, by the way. And yeah, bench was decent. It did okay, but it wouldn't have made a difference. My team just did not do well, which is why obviously Rodrigo Blankenship got cut. Had to get rid of him. I mean,
someone had to pay.
Somebody had to pay for this, exactly. So Sammy got a good 35 point win. God, yeah, doesn't feel good, but we're gonna bounce back next week. I know it.
Next week will be good.
I hope.
All right, so I guess talking about next week, we'll get into, or not talking about next week yet. Review, I guess, final things with this week. 2 biggest players in the league, 2 highest scoring ones as well. Justin Jefferson, he was the only player who really won a matchup this week.
Dominated.
Matt L, our 2 Matts battled, and Matt L beat Matt C. The Justin Jefferson almost got 35 point. I think it was 34.9 for us. Just dominated, got him over the hump, made him win. Also, carried Kirk Cousins. Part of the reason why I like Kirk Cousins, because Justin Jefferson is one of the best, if not the best, receivers in the league. And then Mahomes, he got the same number of points as Jefferson for quarterback, which is crazy. You're not expecting that out of a quarterback. That's not the contribution you think you're getting. So to get another wide receiver 1, breakout wide receiver 1 level performance out of a quarterback is
especially without his top receiver from Tyreek Hill from last year.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's no telling whether or not it holds up, but the fact that he was able to put that out there with his offense being, missing such a big piece, I think just
It was
it's
impressive.
crazy. It's Mahomes. I mean, it is.
Not surprised, but wow.
He's gonna do what he's gonna do. So
Definitely.
all right. So reviewing, I guess the league. I'll let you take this over.
Yeah, so we got the standings here. Obviously, Ian scored the most points here with 146. I was pretty far below him. They're about 65 points away from him. Pretty big discrepancy there. But as you can see, half the league 0-1, half the league 1-0. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty normal.
Pretty easy for the start of the season, but I think it's
No ties yet.
yes, not yet.
Colts.
Well, we're aiming for at least one. We gotta have one.
Yeah, so it's still early, but I think my team's gonna be fine going forward. I think Anthony, you got nothing to be worried about right now.
Yeah, so I'm not too worried right now, but I don't know. It's week one. It's early,
Let's take a look at week 2. Let's see who we should target this week.
So
we got the sell high candidates here. We got Saquon Barkley. Obviously, I think the RB1 this past week. He dominated. He had 2 touchdowns, 200 something yards almost. I feel like on scrimmage yards.
Better than he's done in a very long time.
He's back. I don't know if the injuries stay away, but if they do, he's going to be good. Obviously, you got Curtis Samuel next. He's a good sell high candidate. He got I think 11 targets, something like that from Carson Wentz, who it's pretty impressive from considering how he did last year.
And the attempts too. He got a decent amount of carries.
Definitely. Yeah. He's going to be important for the Commanders going forward. Yeah.
And Cordell Patterson, the last one, he rushed for over 100 yards, got a touchdown. Again, a receiving threat. Damian Williams got hurt. I think he had a rib injury. I'm pretty sure he's going to be back for the next game, but clear that he got, maybe a little bit more of a workload than he would have normally gotten because of that injury. But still, he is their RB1. He is a receiving threat as well for half PPR as well. I think he's definitely got he's had a phenomenal game, has that value. I think he's gonna be good, but with Damian Williams coming, I think there's just you never. I don't know if the consistency is gonna be there with him necessarily the way he plays. It's kind of like a Debo type thing. I feel like Curtis Samuel kind of falls in the same bucket. It's how much can those players keep up? How many touches can you get before you?
It also depends on the game script too. Like the team's down, they're not going to be fed the ball as much. But
yeah, say Atlanta. I don't anticipate Atlanta.
They'll be down in most games.
I don't anticipate them being very run heavy this season, so we're probably gonna see it down.
Sell him now. I would say so.
And then players buy low on Julio. Oh my gosh, that week 1 game. I mean, just to see him, just watching him and whatever the comment, I think it was Collinsworth he was talking about. It's you could just see him. It looked like Julio's back. It was Julio.
Julio Matt Ryan connection.
And Julio. He looked
with Brady.
With Brady, and they're using him, and the way that they were using him creatively, sweeps and everything, getting him carries. I think the fact that he's just getting touches like that, he's going to continue to be, a target clearly in that system. Godwin got
alongside
hurt.
Mike Evans as well.
Mike, I know, it's with Mike, I think he's going to be a key piece of that offense. It's clear that Brady likes him. Brady got him the ball a decent amount in their first game, and I think that's only going to continue as the season goes on. So definitely,
and he brought him to Tampa Bay. That's on there.
They're winning chips down there. That's what they're doing. So.
Exactly. So definitely another guy is Hunter Renfrow. This last week, Devontae got most of the targets. It just seemed like Devontae Adams just stole the show from Hunter Renfrow from last year.
Connection.
Yeah, for real. I honestly think Renfrow is going to bounce back. There's no way Devontae is not going to be getting strapped up, especially in the conference that he is in, the division that he is in. Excuse me. I just think that those defenses are so good that he's going to be matching up with. That'll take Devontae out of the picture. Renfrow is going to be the guy. I'm telling you, give it a few weeks. If Devontae keeps performing well, that's only going to help Renfrow out in the long term. I think another guy to definitely buy now is Dameon Pierce. Again, one of my guys. I don't know what happened. I don't know why Burkhead got all these carries, but Pierce is the clear
They
number
they
one.
said that Pierce was going to be the starter too, and then Burkhead did more.
Same with Cam Akers, but coaches like to lie to us sometimes, I feel like. I mean, I don't know why you'd be giving the ball to a 30-year-old running back when you have a rookie on your team right here on a up and coming team that's rebuilding, but you do what you want, coach. It's not my decision. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess next thing we're going to get into is waiver wire pickups, and I mean, you know what it is, but I'm going to be telling you guys to pick up Rex Burkhead. I mean, yes, Pierce is going to be, if logic prevails, Pierce will be the starting running back soon, or getting more touches soon. Rather that be, or he'll be getting more touches soon. It's coming. But Burkhead, at least for right now, clearly is getting more touches, and in the receiving game as well, is definitely, I think,
All the catches.
I think that, and especially for a team that, to be fair, I do think the Texans are underrated. I think that I like Davis Mills. I think they're going to be all right. But I think that Burkhead, they're going to be down in a lot of games. Burkhead's going to be on the field a lot. He's going to be getting receptions, which for PPR, again, is going to be meaningful. Burkhead is going to be a factor in that backfield. He was last year. He was for the Patriots. Burkhead just doesn't go away. He's there. He's clearly good. I don't know if he's there. He's always going to be around.
He's going to keep poaching my Damon Pierce.
Yes, and he will poach Pierce points just constantly. That's what he's going to do. And second one, Albert Okwuegbunam. No one knows how to say his name. He went to Mizzou. I graduated from Mizzou. I know how to say. I got to see Alberto and Drew Lock connection. It was phenomenal. I got to see Alberto and Kelly Bryant. That wasn't really a connection. Kelly Bryant was garbage for us, but Alberto is good. Loved him since college. Got to see him in school. Now Noah Fant got traded to Seattle. He gets the opportunity to start for the Broncos, and he's a really good athlete. He's big. He can catch. We saw him the first game. I think he got 5 or 6 catches. He was a consistent target for Russell Wilson. Granted, he didn't get a lot of yards. I think he got under 30 yards. I think it was 20, some low 20s, 22, I think he got. But the fact that he got that many targets is important for, a new starting tight end, new quarterback. To have that connection with Wilson already, I think is huge. And it's only going to improve. I think his athleticism is really going to show, and I think he's going to continue to get more targets, more depth in his targets, more red zone targets. And I think he's only going to get better. So I took my own advice and I claimed him off of the waivers. Granted, I have Kyle Pitts, so probably just going to hold on to that's going to be a sneaky little trade that I'm going to try to get something off of someone with the tight end. But yeah, I think he's going to be really good, and I think he's going to continue to improve over the course of this season. So really excited to see what he does.
You also have a good matchup this week, so definitely something to consider.
Alberto is going to be on a roll. So
yeah. So best matchup for this upcoming week 2, I think Juju Smith-Schuster. He's again on my team. I'm confident in my team. These receivers, they are it. They're going up against the Chargers. Yes, it's good defense. JC Jackson is questionable, who you'd think would be matching up against Juju. That does a lot. I mean, Juju did pretty decently in his opening debut game with the Chiefs, considering he had 1 fumble. He got like 6 or 7 targets, I think, at least. Yeah, no, some big plays. Definitely it seemed like the next big guy after Kelsey, though, for Mahomes.
Yeah, no, I was hoping I got Juju in one of my other leagues. I was hoping he was going to fall to me, because I do think he's like, Kelsey he's a tight end, I guess, but he's the number 1 receiving target. But Juju is number 2 right behind him at this point, and that's such a high-powered offense. It's like
100%. And obviously, this game against the Chargers should be high scoring. All these games, these Chief Chargers games, the whole division, all the games are high scoring. I definitely am playing him in all my leagues. I have him in 3 leagues of my 4. I'm playing him in all 3. So definitely do it. Take my advice. You won't regret it.
And I'm going to be going with, I guess I'm another homer picking 2 ways, a commander, and on my team starting for me this week, Antonio Gibson. We're playing against the Lions this week, and Commanders looked good. I mean, I think we almost sold. But we played well. We looked good. The offense looked solid. And I think that you would expect us going into this game to be able to beat Detroit. Maybe not, you know, the hand.
Tough favorite, actually.
I think that we should be beating Detroit. I think I envision this being a game that we're ahead of for most of it. And I think with that, Antonio Gibson, regardless of the game script, I think Gibson is the number one back clearly in the backfield with Robinson out.
We'll get fed.
You know, it's unfortunate what happened to Brian Robinson. It really is. And I want him to come back as soon as possible. But for my fantasy team, this is great. Having Gibson in this scenario is phenomenal. He's getting all the touches. He's got, I think, a career high in receptions as well last week. So, and that's surprising because McKissick, like that's normal. Like that's how the backfield works. So you would expect McKissick to get more of the passing down, you know, opportunities. But for Gibson to get as many as he did on top of the rushes, you'd expect him to get into the red zone or be around there. He's going to be getting touches. He's going to be getting receptions as well. You know, I think he's going to be in a good place. And if this game goes the way that I'm hoping it will, Gibson's going to, you know, be another phenomenal player.
Should be another high scoring game. The Lions-Eagles game was.
Yeah.
The Commanders offense looked good week 1. So
I feel like we're good. All right. So
yeah, let's go to our matches this week. You got Matt this week?
That's it for me. I got Matt L. Justin Jefferson. He was top player of the week. I'm not too keen on going up against him. Interested in how his lineup is set up. I'm not sure if he's going to keep it this way, but I'm starting AJ Dillon over Aaron Jones. And then he started Rashad Penny last week, bringing in J.K. Dobbins above him. That kind of gives me, I don't think Dobbins is really a good start. Coming off of injury, and I think the Ravens is by committee. Like he could be. Dobbins is definitely the highest upside of all of them, but they just do a committee running back group. I
would play Penny there if I was him.
And then Dillon over Jones is like, you know, I mean, I guess
it could go either way.
I feel like that could go either way, but I feel like that's kind of knee jerky off of week 1. Like Dillon did better week 1, but Aaron Jones. I mean, I don't know though. I don't know, I guess, because Dillon continues to get carries. So maybe that'll work out for him.
It's a tough situation for him either way.
But I feel good about my team. I feel good about my matchups. Gibson, we just talked about. Really hoping Kyle Pitts rebounds. This is pretty much, I'm going in with the same lineup I had last week, just switched out defenses. We have the Bengals in against Dallas now. A Dakless Dallas. I think that's going to yield some good results. Dakless, perfect. I was thinking about Michael Thomas, but I need to see one more game out. He got 2 touchdowns. He did get, I think, 6 targets, 5 receptions, not too many yards, but I need to see another game out of him before I feel confident starting him. I think for this week, I feel good with what my team has. I like, you know, I think that's what I talked about earlier. I like consistency with my team. You know, I know Taylor is going to get carries. I know Chubb is going to get carries. I know Evans and Kirk are getting targets. Pitts, in theory, should be getting targets. I know Gibbs is like, I have guys who I can rely on and who I
getting the ball
definitely are going to get me points. So I feel confident in that, especially against how Matt's team is lined up this week. I have a good shot. But
yeah, you both want to know. It should be good. You know,
yeah, exactly. So trying to get myself to 2-0 early. So we'll see how you're doing. Obviously, recovery, bounce back week for you.
Bounce back week for me. I'm playing the other Matt in the league. I'm playing Matt C. I am sticking with the same QB. I actually dropped Tom Brady. I'm keeping Russell Wilson as a guy. I think he's going to bounce back against Houston this week. Najee, questionable, but he's expected to play. I think he'll do better this week again. This was a tough one for me. I couldn't decide between Henderson and Akers. I feel like I need to play them going up against one of the two. I need to play one of the two going up against an Atlanta defense. Like
you have to.
I don't want to play Jamal Williams or Tony Pollard. Or Damian Pierce who.
So you can't really
last week.
Any of the other ones, but I mean, maybe Williams wouldn't be a bad play just because he got. I mean, the Reds. It seems like they're just they let him vulture touchdowns off of DeAndre Swift in the red zone. Like those two, he shouldn't like. DeAndre Swift could have very easily had like 50 fantasy points yesterday, but they like Jamal Williams, but
they want him to get touches.
Henderson and Akers, I think you got to start one of them. Henderson is just the more trustworthy there.
You got to go Henderson. Yeah, then
you're projected to win. You got the higher chance to win. The odds are in your favor.
We take that. We take that. Matt's
think
Matt's
that's
also in one. You never know. He did have a pretty high scoring week 1 though. So
Yeah.
But yeah, receivers. I think I have to go Debo. They're gonna bounce back. 49ers. Terry McLaurin. I'm a little skeptical on. I'm a Commanders fan though, so I'm biased. I can't play Godwin. He's hurt. My other option would be Jarvis Landry, but you never know against the Bucks. They have a good defense there.
I think Terry is going to do. I think he'll do fine. I think he has like. I think he's going to have to recover in terms of the in terms of his targets and stuff. Like Dotson's not going to get 2 TDs every week. People are going to start to pay attention to Samuel a bit more. Like I think we had 1 week to show out, especially against Jacksonville too. Like they're new. I think we had 1 week on offense to kind of try some stuff out, like really involve everyone. But going into like once people start to pay more attention to Dotson, pay more attention to Samuel,
McLaurin's team again.
McLaurin's going to be McLaurin. I think that's what makes our offense so good. Is like we have. I think Dotson was a really underrated pick.
Great pickup.
We have him. If Samuel can stay healthy, like that's 3 receivers.
Solid receivers.
Thomas, Gibson, Robinson comes back. If Wentz can be like okay,
Like even half of what he was is almost MVP year.
Wentz can be okay. Why can't we win the division this year?
With the Dakless Cowboys,
Exactly. If Dak is going to be, although they're trying
Eagles
to say
are just offense. You
they're
never
trying to
know.
say Dak's like about to come back though. I don't know why Jerry Jones is just like
He's
furious.
crazy.
I don't know.
bad. Yeah. Honestly though, while I do have a 51%, 52% chance to win, Matt's team does have some good matchups. He's got Mark Andrews against Miami, Jamar against Dallas. You know, close matchups. Javonte against Houston, yeah. Stafford against Atlanta. Oof. Yeah, it should be close.
It'll be good.
I need this win though. I don't want to be 0-2. I don't want to fall there.
I think a lot of it comes down to the tight ends too, though. You think about the top tight ends, those projections are always way higher than the other. Like Andrews is probably projected for more than he might do. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's.
gotta keep an eye
I
out.
hope he does less than that. And as you can see, I got a new kicker on my team, the best in the league.
Young Ho.
Not even debatable. Yeah, I'm confident. I think this is the week. 1-1, baby. Let's get it.
All right, so I guess that's it. We made it through. We made it through. I don't think we did anything too bad. I don't think we slipped up. I don't think
That was a good first podcast episode.
fine in one take.
We hope you liked it.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna do this next week. I guess we're gonna try to do this every week. We're gonna try to do this every week.
No, let's do it.
Yes. So hope
We'll
you
see
enjoyed
you.
it.
We'll see you next week. Good luck.
Yes. Continue to tune in to the Great American Youth and how our season's going.
You won't regret it. See y'all next week.
Yeah.